So this little device can power your TV and PC even in the middle of nowhere. That's because aside charging via a normal wall socket, Legend has it that you can also add multiple solar panels to the package. So is this the perfect replacement for a gas generator? Also, are there design flaws in this particular device? Subscribe and let's find out. This is the Cola 1000 Pro by Cola Solar. That means there is a Cola 1000 which we would be reviewing in a separate video. Unboxing this device, you'd notice just how simple the packaging is. Nothing fancy, just enough styrofoam to protect the product from impact, probably during shipping. Comes with a manual, a solar connector cable for solar charging. We also have the kind of power cable you'd connect a regular PC monitor or TV for charging this device. FYI, I would have preferred an external adapter charger, that way it can easily be replaced if it blows out. But nevertheless, there is also a solar charging system inside, and it's completely separate from the wall socket charging system, so if that one stops working, the solar charger will continue to function because that's already a direct current system. So the Cola 1000 Pro is 1 kilowatt 300 watts. That means the battery is 1000 watts and the inverter capacity is 300 watts. I normally prefer if the inverter capacity is limited to at least 1/4 of the battery capacity to prevent something called voltage sag, and also to preserve the lifespan of the battery. Anyways, there's a 50 watt margin here, and that is still a good design as this runs on lithium batteries. Talking about batteries, we can actually measure the battery capacity in milliamp hours, which is what most people are familiar with. So let's do that. This is a 12 volt design and we have the battery power as 1000 watt or 1 kilowatt. Using our P equal to IV, 1000 is equal to IV, where I is the current in amperes and V is about 12 volts. Dividing 1000 by 12, we have 83.3 amps. To convert that amperes to milliamperes, we have to multiply by 1000. That gives us 83,000 mAh or milliamperes. But before you say, hey, this is almost like my power bank, your power bank runs on 5 volts and this is a 12 volt system. But if you still want to compare with your power bank capacity in mAh, you have to divide by 5 volts instead of 12 volts, which would give you about 200,000 mAh. Hopefully that will help you measure the difference between the amount of power in your 20,000 mAh power bank and the 200,000 mAh in the Cola 1000 Pro. Now that we have that sorted out, let's get back to the review. Subscribe, by the way, it's free. So I tried charging this device and it was really simple to understand. No complicated LCD displays with too many parameters to measure, just a straightforward blinking LED, and that was it. To power it on, just hold the power button for about 3 seconds, which was kind of tricky at first because the button sinks in a little too deep. But after a while, you get used to it. It charged pretty fine, although the fan kept coming on and off while it was charging. That's probably because the fan is using a temperature sensor to ensure it comes on only when it needs to. That helps to save power. I tried measuring the sound of the fan. It didn't seem too loud. I think the intensity varies according to the load and the heat being generated inside. I also tried charging this old 2017 MacBook Pro and it charged really fine and fast without dropping the battery level. Although you should bear in mind that I've been using this laptop since 2022, so the battery might not be as powerful as it's meant to. Therefore, it wouldn't draw as much power as it's meant to. Also, it was switched off while charging. I might carry out some charging tests, but it's going to be in a separate video. The build quality is also great. It's predominantly plastic, but the body is very dense. We might still do a destructive durability test in a separate video with an entirely different unit. But from what I see so far, I would say it's strong enough. And another thing I love about this model is the universal socket outlet for both EU, UK, and US plug types. So let's do some measurements. I have my multimeter here. The first thing we are going to check for is the voltage sag. In other words, if you plug in more than one appliance in this device, will the voltage drop, or will it be smart enough to balance itself and place the demand on the battery? So the outlet voltage written here is 220 volts. From our measurement, there is a bit of fluctuation due to poor contact between the probes of my multimeter and the socket terminals. But from what I'm seeing, that figure is accurate and it's same in both outlets. Now we're going to add a load by plugging in the MacBook to the other socket so we see if it sags. Okay, so I notice the voltage slightly shifts, then automatically adjusts itself within seconds. That means the system is smart enough to ensure voltage stability while you plug and unplug things and wouldn't blow up your appliances due to sinusoidal signals. The second test is the dead load discharge test. When you plug in a solar panel to a power station like this, as soon as the sun goes down, the solar panel becomes a dead load and would end up discharging the battery with time. To do this, I've set the multimeter to over 12 volts. As you can see, the battery will discharge approximately 3 volts to the panel. An improvement to this design would be to include a diode to enable the voltage flow in only one direction, that's from the panel to the battery, or a smart charge controller module. Nevertheless, most solar panels already have diodes built in. But if you're not so sure, when you're charging with the solar, it's best to unplug as soon as it gets dark. For the price, the Cola 1000 Pro is one of the most affordable power stations I've seen for this capacity, and I love that. It sells for $205 and about 300,000 naira, plus a whooping 2 years warranty. If you want to get one, I'll leave a number or email on the description of this video because there are lots of ridiculous prices flying around. There are other things I didn't test though, like for short circuit protection, overcharge protection, impact protection, and over discharge protection. But those are destructive tests. So I'll be doing them with a different unit. I think this would be a good product for camping. It's very handy, especially for small devices like PC or MacBook or a workstation. I think freelancers would also enjoy not being glued to a wall socket all the time. You can also check out the Cola 1000, which is even more affordable than the Cola 1000 Pro. Remember to subscribe. I'm Justin. Bye bye.